Spider-Man 94, the comic book series. Now, I have individually reviewed all of these issues, and I plan on never touching, looking, thinking about this series for the rest of my entire existence. So I'm like, let me do one last video talking about them, and I'm going to shove them in the back of my comic book shelf and never look at them again. I'm going to milk them one last time. I have been a lifelong Spider-Man 94 fan. Probably is my favorite Spider-Man thing, period. I love that show. I grew up with the Sinister Six, the Six Forgotten Warriors. Um, I grew up with the Six Forgotten Warriors VHS, and I would watch that on repeat throughout my entire childhood. That was all I watched. And then it was only really during the pandemic is when I actually watched the entire show. Because again, up to that point, it was really just that Six Forgotten Warriors VHS that I watched like 6 billion times, and I probably have that VHS somewhere upstairs. And I fell in love with that show, man. That show, oh my gosh, the mind behind that show, John Semper Jr., who was handpicked by Stan Lee. What an absolute legend. How faithful he was to not only Spider Man, but to every character that entered that show was a perfect, picture perfect representation of who like from them from the comics. Just perfect. Like literally Arkham game levels of adaptation. Just like perfect cartoon version of that comic book character. Every single one. The storylines were great, the characters were great, the music, the voice acting, just everything was top notch. Listen, I'm not gonna say it's better than the Batman animated series, but people don't give it enough credit. It can compete. In my opinion, it can compete with Batman the 90, the 94, 92 series. I have not seen the X-Men 90s X-Men TV show, so I can't speak on that, but man do I love Spider-Man 94. And in the summer when they announced that they were going to make a comic book, I was just overjoyed. I was so happy. And then there were certain red flags. Red flag number one came out John Semper Jr. Not only was he not writing this, he didn't even know it was coming out. The announcement when they announced J.M. Diaz is when he found out who the writer was. How are you gonna like that's insane to me. Imagine they did a community imagine they did a community comic book, or they're doing the community movie and they don't bring Dan Harmon back, the brainchild of the show. Imagine Kevin Smith gets someone else to write his Clerks comic books or his Quick Stop comic books. Like that's truly insane to me. Imagine if Todd McFarlane isn't the head story guy of the Spawn books. Like how do you like that's like why? Like, he was right there. And it's not like the dude hasn't written comic books before. He did I believe he did a Green Lantern run, or I believe it was Green Lantern. He did a comic run back in Rebirth, you know, and they didn't ask him to come back. All right, and then red flag 2. You look at the art. The art gets released. What the actual hell are we looking at? Looks nothing like the animated series. You take a look of what the animated series looks like, and then you look at this. What is this? What is this? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. The only thing that would indicate that this book is an adaptation of the Spider-Man 94 series are these two numbers right here. Because the second you take these numbers out, this just becomes a random ass Spider-Man story about a dude named Moreland and his son that he's reincarnating. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? I don't know what to say. Who are these people, bro? What are we doing here? Like, I understand, people were complaining, oh, the John Semper, he had the season 6 ending or the season 5 ending where they go back, him and Madam Web, and they find Mary Jane, and, and that this kind of jumps it. Honestly, my problem wasn't that they didn't do the ending John Semper Jr. had, because that's John Semper Jr.'s ending. And I want him to release that ending somehow. They've had, like, cast readings of it, but I want him to release a comic book. I want him to do a series, okay? I don't want J.M. Medias's version of that ending. Fine, let him do his own thing. But this is just not it at all. It's just not it at all. This issue, the first issue, it's so weird because Peter and MJ have this weird fight because Peter's kind of weirded out that's the real MJ because the past MJ disappeared or was a clone or whatever. And he's kind of weirded out and he's like, maybe I don't want to marry you. And at the end of the issue, he's like, oh, I do want to marry you. And that's like never touched upon again until they get married in the final issue. But it's just so convoluted and messed up. And each issue pretty much just gets progressively worse, more confusing, more pointless, just more crap, just more crap. Honestly, um, yeah, don't get this. Just don't get this. The entire series is pointless. If you are a fan of Spider-Man 94, you are doing a disservice to yourself if you read this. As someone who has gone through it, as someone who has spent, this is like $4 or $5 American each. So like let's say like $25. Yeah, this is like $5, four. Those bastards at Marvel raised the price on the first issue because they knew everyone was going to get the first issue and no one was going to get the second issue. So they made the first issue $5 and every other issue $4 because they wanted to get that extra dollar out of you. And you know they knew idiots like me, like some idiots like me, would have actually continued it even though they knew the first issue was bad. But you know this is pretty much 20 American dollars. This is pretty much 20 American dollars. You know, convert that to Canadians, pretty much 30 Canadian dollars plus tax. So I pretty much spent like 35 Canadian dollars on a bunch of Spider-Man slop, to be honest. And yeah, I'll never forgive Marvel for that. I'll never forgive J.M. Medias. I don't give a shit that he did Kraven's Last Hunt and Clone Saga, and I don't care. And I will never ever read anything with this Jim Toe guy ever again. I never will, because how hard is it to just take screenshots of the animated show and just trace it? Just trace it. That's all you have to do. Just emulate. No one is asking for your interpretation of Spider-Man. No one gives a shit of your take on Spider-Man. It's not good. It's just not, okay? It's not good for an animated show. It's just not good for a regular Spider-Man show. I don't want to see you pick up a pencil for the rest of your life. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'm never going to read anything with this guy ever again. Jim Toe, I'm never going to read anything with that guy ever again. So as J.M. Medias, he's gone. Again, this is just a recap of everything I've said in the previous issues. I'm not really saying anything new. I just want to emphasize, please do not buy this. Please pirate it. Go on Read Comics online and just read it illegally. Please steal this from your comic book shop. Okay, don't steal from your comic book shop. Don't do that. But you know, read it at your comic book shop and put it back on the shelf or something. If you really want to read this, find some way to not buy it. Please, just don't. Like I'm so in favor of buying physical comic books. I hate digital comic books. I hate pirating comic books. It's the worst feeling in the world. But I'm making one exception. I'm making one exception for this. Do not spend your money on this. It's bad. It's really bad. The story is bad. The art is bad. The characters are bad. Spider-Man is bad. Morlin and Aunt May and Mary Jane and everyone is bad. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I just cannot express how much I hate this book. This genuinely might be the worst comic book I've ever read in my life. And again, it's not that bad. Like, by itself, the comic book is a 3.5 out of 10. But when you factor in that they had to put that 94 on the front cover to get idiots like me to buy it, who was nostalgic for the 94 cartoon, it easily bumps it 2 grades down. This is like a 1.5 out of 10, a 1 out of 10. Shameless cash grab by Marvel. I'm literally trembling in my voice right now how bad this comic book is. But as promised in my previous review, I don't want the digital copies of this. So even though I was saying pirate this before, maybe you're lucky, and I'm just going to give these digital copies away. I did give some digital copies away in previous reviews, but I didn't give all of them away. I don't really remember which ones I gave away and which ones I didn't. So I'm just going to show these right now. So this is issue 1. You guys can take that. That's issue 1. This is issue 2. Issue 2. This is issue 3. Oh. I'll never be doing a giveaway like this again because I'll never be buying a Marvel issue again where there's a QR code. DC should really get in this, man, because this is great. This is genuinely the one good thing Marvel does. Like, they have the QR codes. As someone who does not read digital comics, I do understand the value of digital comics, and this is a really cool thing Marvel does. I will say, like, the only praise I will ever give them ever. There you go, issue 4. And lastly, the newest issue, the one that came out this week, the Creme de la Crap, issue 5. So I hope someone reads it, I hope someone gets it, and they get something out of it. If you were successfully able to get these issues, you were the one that scanned the QR code, please comment down below. That's all I ask. Comment down below and let me know how you liked it or how you didn't like it. And that would be awesome if someone could actually scan them and get them for themselves. Yeah, like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, what are we doing? What are we actually doing? This is just nonsense. Just actual crap and actual nonsense. I know I'm not being very in-depth about this series, but this series is not worth an in-depth video. I just wanted to make this video as a disclaimer, as a warning. Just don't get it. That's all I ask. Don't get it. You don't even have to like and subscribe. Honestly, people say like and subscribe. For this video, don't even do that. Just don't get this comic book. Please, that's all I ask. Don't like, don't subscribe, don't comment. Just don't get this comic book.